Okay, all right. Hello, can you hear me? Can you see me? Hello, can you hear me? Can you see me? Welcome back to Lewis Schaffer. This is the first time we've had a break. Or I've had a break, or I haven't done it, or you haven't been here. Thank you very much for coming. A round of applause for you people. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll be back in a second. I've got to close the door. Sorry, Columbus. Okay, thank you. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming back into the Lewis Schaffer Uncooked live stream. Hello, Maltese Phil. He can hear me and see me. Joodles is here. Six Badges is here. Who's a guy? He's a guy. He lives in France. Well, what direction would France be? France would be, I guess, over there. France is over there. Claire, beautiful Claire. MC Scott is here. Gnome Hunter is here. So you got a lot of people coming in here. Thank you. I missed 2 days because of the I was filming. I know I'm an international famous, so people don't like me. That's the thing I'd like to discuss. That they don't. That I'm too much. I'm too much. I got an attitude. I got a face. Like I'm miserable. And I'm not sure that people like me. I'm not sure. I got a complaint made against me by some woman on the first day that I was there, but they said it was all right. It's hard to work to do these films because they call you in at 6 o'clock. I'm not complaining. The film could be amazing. I can't even say what the name of the film is. I don't know. You sign an NDA, so you don't know what you can and cannot say. I don't know what the film. I can't say what the film is. They take away my phone, which is my camera, and I couldn't even check. I couldn't even message you to tell me. They go in for lunch, and there wasn't even enough time for me to check my phone. They said, you got to go to the set. You're wanted on the set. It's nice to be wanted. It was a big thing. There was a studio audience of maybe 200 or 300 people, and they were actually trained in how to act for the Beatles. Sorry, did I say who that was? Anyway, they were trained. And there was I don't even know whether I'm allowed to discuss exactly what happened, but it's a very famous movie director, and we did lots and lots of shots. And it could be, I don't even know if it's going to be, what's going to happen. I don't know what the film is going to be. I know the director directed a film that I saw that I liked a lot, but maybe, I'm not going to say what it was. One film that I liked a lot. I should maybe just Google what the other films were. And then there was a minor problem with the set. The curtain came down, then the curtain was raised, and as the curtain was raised, it pulled a piece of the flooring decorative objects. I'll show you. I don't even know when I can show you. I don't even know. You don't know. It's weird. I'm not the kind of person who can keep a secret. That sounds like a song, but I'm not the kind of person that can keep a secret. And it pulled these big wooden things that have been made as decorative pieces. It's Lucy here. Hello, Lucy. Anyway, so pulled it up, maybe like 10 feet into the air. And then it fell down, and it almost, it didn't maybe at all. I mean, luckily, the actors saw the thing go up in the air and they moved away. I'm making it sound like it couldn't have been like something horrible happened. It was like, whoa. It could have been like, whoa. It was like happened so quickly. It happened like, whoa. Filmmaking is very dangerous. It's very dangerous because everything is made as spec for the show. Joe is here. Hello, Joe. Lewis. Joe Doodle says, Lewis, you're an enormous pain in the arse, but I'm sure I'm not the only one who felt like something was missing yesterday. Oh, that is so nice, Doodles. Thank you very much. I felt like something was missing. I got about 4 hours sleep over 2 days. I was so tired. And that's why it's a very difficult situation. I mean, it sounds like amazing. It sounds amazing. And it's really good. It's really good. But they had 300 people in this, just in the audience. I wasn't in the audience. I was like, like everything starts off, it could have been amazing. It could have been, I don't want to go into it. Lewis, isn't it 4 different films about each Beatle? Not sure if it's all melded together. We shall see. Well, that's what I've heard. It's going to be 4 different films. They might be filming it all at once with separate scenes for each individual one, but also they will edit it and cut it. It could be amazing. I don't even know if I'm allowed to discuss it, but I mean, people know about it. It was written in it was in the Times today. It was in the Times. I bought the Times, £3. £3 for me to look at for 10 minutes and just be like unhappy with it anyway. So yeah, it could be that 4 films, and so maybe that's why they're printing it from so many different angles. I mean, they're filming it from so many different angles. I don't even know what the terms are anymore. It's a setup, a set, a clip, whatever. So it could be that. And my role, I mean, I had a very small, I mean, I don't even want to discuss it because I want you people to remember me as being the superstar that I am and not being Lewis Schaffer here in this live stream, just being somebody amazing. But there you go. So 100% something. Didn't feel right spending the evening. Yeah, I mean, I didn't feel it either. I'm sitting there. And what can I do? I'm sitting there and they're saying, you don't know. When they do these films, they usually end about 6. So I was thinking I get home at 9 and it wouldn't be that bad. And I'll be able to send a message to you people to tell you when I'll be here. I would have been able to, but they took away my phone, so I couldn't even post a message. I don't know how to post a message on the Streamlabs thing because it's so complicated, and I don't think I can even. I Googled it, and they said they don't have that feature, but maybe I'm wrong. So I didn't know, and I just thought to myself, okay, I'm trapped here. So when they say, so it's 6:30, they say we're going to end at 7:30. Oh, okay, 7:30. At 7:30, they go, well, we're going to end at 8:30. I got out at 9 o'clock. The guy is playing Ringo, I believe. Yeah, there's one guy who's super famous who I've never even heard of, but he's supposedly got paid 15. I'm not saying. I don't even know what I can say. They might be mad at me. These people, it's film. It's the film, and then it's the film. But they're 4 people. They're 4 people playing the Beatles, and it's not that easy. And the scene that I was in, I don't even know what scene I was in. You're our new podcast showbiz reporter. Yes, Claire. I mean, I actually was in the thing. Am I the reporter of what's going on? Yeah, maybe I'm allowed to say that. What do you think? Am I allowed to say I experienced it. It's the thing. I mean, I was really upset. I tried to control the upsetness. There were a couple of incidents there that were quite... Remember, I said I got like 4 hours sleep, so I wanted to sit down. There were no seats. So I sat on a box which didn't have anything on top, and I sat down on the box, and there was no sign that says don't sit on the box, so I sat on the box, and there was a kind of a cup, and I moved the cup to the side, and then I sat on it, and then the guy got mad at me because I sat on some kind of he said a $4,000 microphone. And it's like, well, what am I supposed to do? My problem is I am old, but I'm not, I don't think I'm old enough to look like I'm not potentially damaging in a sexual way, in a young, youthful way. Young, youthful way. Ron Smith says he's living in a cardboard box. Probably shouldn't reveal too much, like there are four people in the Beatles, Lewis. Yeah. I mean, you don't know. You have no idea. They can get mad at you. I met a guy. I met a guy who was in every. I don't even want to say because he told me this thing. He was in every single movie that was made from the 1960s of a particular brand. I'm not going to say what the name of the movie is, but he was in every single movie from the ones that were made from 1962 to 2000 and whatever it was, 2020. Every single one of these movies, and maybe there were 15 of them. And he just posted something online, and they took him off of the last movie. He had 40 days worth of work, and they just took him off the movie. I'm not saying, Joe, I don't want to say you don't want to say. It's the movie business when they take away your phone and you don't even have a phone. I didn't know Ron Jeremy. Didn't we discuss Ron Jeremy back in the way? I didn't know Ron Jeremy. I knew where he lived. And then they made his life horrible, and he's died a horrible death of diabetes. Ron Jeremy. Didn't we discuss him? I think we discussed him in the earlier show. Remember the early shows? Anyway. So what I meant to say was, I mean, I don't know whether you find me attractive or not. I don't know. But I think when you reach a certain age, you can maybe have more leeway with the ladies than you do when you're a younger man, right? And I think if I was an older man, I think this guy wouldn't have yelled at me for the 4,000-pound microphone. He wouldn't have yelled, not that it was broken or anything, but possibly broken. I don't know. I don't think it was broken. We discussed Ron Jeremy in mid-July. Oh, my God, he's not dead yet. Yeah, we discussed it. That seems like another world away, Joodles, that when we discussed him. And so this, I don't know what I said to her. But she got upset and she made a complaint against me. And because I see myself here, I see what I look like here, and I do not look great. I don't look young. Look at this thing here. Look, I was looking at my shoulder. Look at the flare. But if I was an old man, they think, oh, this is, or maybe people hate boomers. Could that be what it's like? You're not too bad, Joe. Thank you very much. Thank you that I'm not too bad. Kermit's here. Not sure. Someone may be alive from Carry On movies, but they'd be old. No, this is not I'm not going to say what it is, but it wasn't Carry On. But they took away, he said something about being in this film. That was all it was. He said, I'm in this film. He wrote it. I don't know what happened. And they took him off the thing, maybe. And he was a very prestigious, I don't know whether you could even call somebody who was a supporting actor prestigious. But he was doing a ton of different things in these movies, and he'd be around. He was so old too. He was like in his 80s or 70s or something. Amanda Barry, still fab. No, it wasn't that. And he what am I saying? And they took him off the show. So that's why I have to be careful. But I also forget. I look at myself as being young. I don't look at myself as being young. But when I see somebody who's young, I think, well, I could talk to them. I could be with them. They're not looking at me like I'm an old. Thank you very much, Claire. I appreciate that. Claire says she finds me attractive. I don't see myself as being an old guy, as a gross old guy. But maybe I'm married. Maybe I am an old gross guy. I mean, you know how women are. They can be very picky. I'm going to be yelled at by Lucy and Joodles. Women can be very picky. They don't want to be with an old gross guy. They want a guy that they think, ooh, But if women, and I'm going to maybe, I don't know, this always goes to women. I'm not going to discuss it, but women, they might love a guy immediately, or they need to be convinced. Men tend to fall in love instantly. I love you. I want to do you. You're beautiful. This is the way men think. This is the way I think. I don't know. We can talk about this later. So, so I left. I had to leave yesterday at 9 o'clock. I take the bus, take the coach back to Houston, and it's just a weird thing because you're with these people. They're all made up. They all have people look so good when they're in a movie. They got the makeup done. They've got the hair done. They're wearing the nice clothes, or they are nice clothes for the time. Every movie has nice people wearing nice clothes. And then they come out and they look very different. How many times have we been over this, Lewis? It's lust, not love, says Judels. Men see it as love. We see it as love. You see a girl, I see a picture. I go, oh my God, I love that. I want that. I remember being on the train. I've told you this before. When I've been on the subway in New York, on the underground in New York, the subway in New York. And I would just look around and I'd look at all the girls there, all the women there. And I'm thinking, I would do you. I would do you. This is what men think. Is that creepy that I'm even saying this? Us women are dubious. Trust no one, laugh out loud. Joe, there might be truth to that. As Joe says that all women are dubious. Are all women dubious? I mean, it was unnecessary. I don't know what I said. But I've been speaking. I haven't been in business situations in a while. I've been here. I haven't really left the house. And the problem is, and I'm here, I speak openly and honestly, or I try to speak openly and honestly. Yes, men are creepy. We're creepy. There's men on the train. They're looking at you, Janet. And then you might not see any distinction in their face, but they're thinking, I would do you. I would do her. I would do you. What is that? How does that make you feel? Is it wrong for me to even say that? Am I like an abusive person for looking at Janet on the train? I don't even know Janet. I'm saying, I would. I'm thinking like when I'm in my 20s, whatever. Yes, men don't care about a scented bath and candles, Ron Smith. We just lust for flesh, and we make the decision right there. Women do not lust for flesh unless the guy is really great looking. And then they'll say, yes, I want that guy. But they got to be really great looking. Men have a much broader appetite. Don't wear leggings if you don't want your arse looked at. Yes. They didn't even have leggings back then. And look at girls. You look at a girl, you say, yes, yes, no, yes, yes, no. Thank you, Kermit, for don't wear the leggings advice. You are reflecting the truth, Lewis. I'm just the same. But women, I mean, if you were on they've done the study. They did the OkCupid study. Google OkCupid chart, and they found out that women swipe on way less than men swipe. They swipe like 2 to 3, 5% or something on Tinder and Hinge and Bumble, if those places still exist. I don't know. Okay. I don't know. Alex comes in and says, why do women wear cleavage? I'm not even talking about cleavage. Thank you, Janet. Thank you very much. I want you, Janet. Is that women are much pickier about who they go out with initially. Thank you, Avocado Man. Good to see you. He always says, same bums and broads. I find that funny. Same bums and broads. Well, I think there is a difference between recognizing a pretty lady in public and actually wanting to do something to them. It's a big difference. I'm not thinking I'm going to do something to them, but I'm thinking, would I? Would I? If she came up, if she wanted me, there's no like I'm going to go pull her over, leaving the exit, of the 42nd Street and 8th Avenue stop. No, it's not. There's nothing like that. It's not as dirty as that. Is that what it sounds like? What happened? Did he just cut that out? None of us are the thought police. As long as it's only a thought, there's no harm done. But I'm not even thinking. I don't know if I'm even thinking that. Are you going to go to the shop, producer? No, you're not. There's all sorts of sausages. Did you see that? Are you good? Anyway. No, I'm not even thinking evil thoughts. I know what it sounds like. It sounds like, oh, I'd watch out for this guy. It isn't It isn't like that at all. Is women, no. No, they don't. Yes, they do. They don't. They don't. No, they don't. Avocado man, they don't. They don't. Oh my God. Okay, Cupid, bollocks. Again, women need more than a picture, Lewis. That's what I'm saying. Women need more than a picture. A man, I mean, as I've gotten older, of course I need more than just the way a woman looks. Now I look at every woman and I think, oh my God, danger, 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 danger. That's what I look at usually. But when you're in your 20s, yes, okay, Cupid stuff was unbelievable. Unbelievable. That women need to know something about them. It's like I used to have this joke. I used to say, women need to know everything about a man. It's not true exactly, but women need to know everything about a man before they love him. Does that sound true? Women need to know everything about a man before they love him, and man needs to know everything about a woman before he hates her. That's what I believe. Okay, so they want to know, what does the guy do for a living? Is the guy nice? Is he well educated? Does he have a nice apartment? Is he clean? Initially. Well, it used to be like that 30 and 40 years ago when I was young. Whether it's like that now, I don't know. It doesn't quite sound like that, Lewis, but people oftentimes mix them two up while it's nothing alike. As a fellow man, I know what you mean, says Gnome Hunter. You just look at a girl and say, wow, she's really pretty. I'd like to, I'd like to, but, a man merely needs a female cartoon character, or even less than that. You don't see women having blow-up dolls at home, just sitting there. But men can, and we do. We like that. We can. Okay? I can cook, do DIY, drive to a reasonable standard, Maltese Phil is saying. What do women want? They want more than what men want. Men, you're pretty. Okay, come with me. And then when you're crazy, then we get a bit unhappy. So how was your job? Well, I think I did an okay job doing what I did, but it was like relentless. And there was some technical problems because there was silence. They were video playback. I didn't know when my cue was. I couldn't tell. You can't categorize all women as the same, Lewis. I'm not categorizing all women. They don't really have a hive mind like us guys. Well, I didn't say that. I just said us guys have a hive mind. I'm not speaking for all men. I believe that men, I know what I was thinking. I'm thinking, I have my hive mind. Johnny Miller is here. Men can have robots, so we only need women to do the dishes and that. That's kind of like what I'm saying. I'm saying is that men are more shape-oriented. We're more looks-oriented. You see women with all different kinds of men, that they like, different kinds. Avocado man. No, I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. That is not what I'm saying. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying if you have all the women, it's not an age thing. This is not. I'm just thinking about what goes on in a man's mind. Now, I'm older. I know what you're saying, avocado man. But the kind of thing is, like I've learned this from. It's a difficult. You can't say what you said. Okay. Okay. Anyway, what's a big spoon? What does that mean? What does that mean? A big spoon, saying Kermit. What does that mean? Hold on, let me fix this thing here. Yeah. Now I'm lost. Where are we? Where do I go from here? I'll tell you where I go from here, Lewis. What is the boy saying? I don't know what the boy is saying, but I'm saying what I'm saying. Okay, what are you saying, Kermit? What is the big spoon? Is that about like drugs or something? I don't know. He likes to stir the pot. Okay, that's what it means. Well, he did stir the pot. I couldn't even read it. I didn't read what he said because it's not. And what my point is not about that. Is not about that. Like at my age, I'm a bit more flexible than I was, you know, than I used to be. Now I look at girls of all types, all ages, all sizes, and decide where I'm going to go from there. But what was I saying? So I offended this woman on the movie set, and she made a complaint about me. And I think to myself, oh shit, I'm not going to be fired. But that's just the way it is to be Lewis Schaffer. Lewis Schaffer is a guy who gets fired. He calls people fat, he gets fired. He gets fired. This is the way it is. I always feel for people who aren't like me, who are nice, lovely people, who say things, and it like comes as a big surprise that people don't like them. Like someone like what's her name? Like J.K. Rowling. She was like a bit surprised that she got into trouble for saying the thing about trans. She was the first person, basically, wasn't she the first person where she said that? She thought, oh, all my feminist friends are going to be on my side. All the women that I know are going to be me because I'm J.K. Rowling and I'm a good person. And the thing about me is I don't think I'm a good person. So if I do say things, I say, oh, you caught me. I don't even know what I said, honestly, but I'm pretty sure I must have said something that was bad. I got criticized today. I'm sorry for screaming, Joodles. I got criticized today for my disability comment, for my disability joke. This has been like months already. They're gonna hound me for that. They're gonna hound me for that. Women should. It's not just about clues. Yes, Alex. It's not just about whether they're choosing for cleavage or what they're wearing. It's. You look at a woman. A man looks at a woman, and he makes his mind up almost instantly, almost all the time. Is there any man who disagrees with me here? Tell me if you do. This is just me. I make up my mind up almost instantly. Almost instantly. Now, let's just say, are there women who do the same? I mean, women do the same, but they don't pick as many people as men pick. That's my point. That's the point that I'm making. They don't pick as many people. Okay? As many people. Okay? Lewis, I think some people get triggered, especially if they are left-leaning. This is not the point that I'm making. It's basically, maybe it is the point I'm making. It's not a left-right thing. Okay. You were, did my comment, I'll list the ladies. Did I trigger anybody by saying that I make up is that men, it's like you watch that Jubilee program, I think it is, where they had all those women, and they all said no to those guys, and all the guys would say yes to the girls. Comedian Jeff Jeffrey speaks about this subject. Okay, he does. Well, he's not me. He's not me. He's not me. Well, I don't know how it changed. Let's get back on track of this thing. Is that what you think I'm saying? I'm saying that if there are 100 women in a room, okay, would I do you? Not would I marry you for the rest of my life, but would I do you? I think men are generally more flexible than women. Generally more flexible than women. Women have more opportunities than men, so it kind of evens out. Men have less opportunity, less opportunity, but more desire. Whereas women have less desire and more opportunity. Okay, they go to a club, right? And they have more opportunity, women, and less desire. I'm going to write that down. I think that's an interesting point. Do you think that am I right about that? I think it's an interesting point. That's only if you believe women get dressed from. Oh, you're having a conversation with Alex. That's not what I'm saying. Yes, I'm the point I'm making. I'm gonna have to repeat myself again, which is one. This is day 167. This is the 26th of November. Okay, is that women have more opportunity, less desire, and men have less opportunity and more desire. That's what I'm saying. Is that understandable? Men could go to Thailand if I. No, I'm not going to read that. I'm not going to have that discussion right now. We can have discussion in a while. I'm chuckling. Okay, I'm chuckling at the fact that two men just told me, a woman, that women they're getting think think when they're getting dressed. Do they think when they're getting dressed? I think they do. They do know. What do you mean they don't think? Of course they know. I hear GB News interviewed Mike Graham at protest. Yes, yet omitted the whole interview. Um, well, I mean, he wasn't on GB News. I don't know. I didn't hear that. That's something else. Toodles. Well, there are always exceptions. Always notice the phrasing a lot. I'm sure I don't constitute for 50% of the population. I'm foreign and not stupid. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So she made a complaint. One of the directors came over to me and said, "Listen, there's a complaint. We're not going to make a big deal about it, but don't do it again." And I just left it at that. I didn't say, "What did I say?" I didn't say, I just left it at that. And I saw her there, and she was like scowling at me, and then I smiled gently at her, and I ignored her, and then who knows what she was thinking? She could have been having a bad day. You don't know what people have. You do not know what people have. Um, um, you don't know. It's an interesting point. Hold on a second. Hold on. So that was awkward. It was awkward that the thing went all day. It was like I was exhausted, and then the thing where the stage fell on the, and I was like 10 feet away from that. It was like too much. Anyway, so now we're talking about sex tourism. Maybe you want to talk about that. I don't know what you want to do. So that's that sex tourism. Sex tourism. Someone blocked me, then called me a sex tourist. What a snowflake. Well, I mean, I watch me get blocked. It's like, yeah. Well, what did you say? You said something that you know. It wasn't the point that I was making. Let me just put it that way. At least I don't think it was the point that I was making. The point that I was making is that I'm now 68 years old. Okay. Let's calm down. Don't block anybody. Don't block anybody. No, don't call anybody weak either. Avocado man. Don't call anybody weak. Is what I am saying is I'm at a certain age now. When I was younger, people got more upset at me. Maybe because they saw me as maybe women too, or maybe even young guys more likely to fight a guy like me, thinking, "Oh, I'm dangerous." But now I don't look as dangerous as I look, or maybe you think that I do. Maybe you're sitting there saying, "Wow, he's very, very sexy, very sexy." Calvin Perrins is here. I'm a 68-year-old carnivore. Yeah, I mean, not from my behavior yesterday. That was something else that I did that I don't even want to talk about because Claire is going to hear me say this, and she's gonna be mad at me. But the point is that what were we talking about? Just take us. Is that because I'm older, I'm not as dangerous, maybe. Okay. And now we're talking about Thailand. Carrie B is here. Okay. Can we not block people? Let's not block people unless they're really doing something. I don't. Let's not, because I edit it myself. I'm not going to read something horrible. I don't think. Okay. Women say they dress for themselves, but it's just an excuse to hide the competition between themselves. We could discuss that. Do they dress for themselves? They don't dress for themselves. Nobody dresses for just themselves. They like getting dressed up because they associate it with lots of warm feelings. Can you let me be the obnoxious one, men? Please let me. We've got some very strong, and if that's possible, and sensitive women. Joodles and Lucy. These are very strong and sensitive women. And sensitive women. And sensitive women. What did Kerm say? Women say they dress for themselves, but that's an excuse to hide the competition between themselves. Interesting. Kermit says that. I think I know exactly what you mean. Is women, and this is something that I've said many times, women like, here's the thing. If you guys say something horrible about women, how can I say something horrible about women? And then it seems like we're all ganging up on women. Lewis, we dress for ourselves, says Joe. Beautiful, beautiful Joe. What competition? What competition do women have? That women love each other. They never fight with each other. They love each other. They love each other. The fact that you are stressing about it so much tells me at least one part of that sentence is a lie. Now I'm a little confused. I don't know what to do here. I don't know what to. I don't want to. Me. I'm famous for my misogyny. So when you guys are misogynistic, it's bad for me because it just is like piling on. Most men, if they like all the fake nails, and ask most men if they like the fake nails and stuff. They don't. They're in secret competition against each other. Is that true, girls? Are women fighting? Look at all those prison things. They get dressed up in prison, and there are no men there. They want to be, because here's something that I'm going to say, or maybe I should let you guys say what you have to say, and I have never competed against another female. Carrie B says. Never competed. Well, what does it mean? What does the word competition mean anyway? You don't need to do anything, Lewis. We can all decide for ourselves. Yeah, no, I know. I'm not going to do anything to you guys. If you want to block somebody, you can block somebody. But I don't like blocking people. And, especially if I don't think that they've crossed over a line. But if you think that they have, you can say, Lewis, he's crossed over a line. And then explain why he's crossed over a line. Today I realized my luminous yellow doesn't pop like the green and orange in the range. I have one already that'll replace it. You're talking about like this is the way nail. Okay, you're talking about nail varnish, MC Scott. Yeah, there definitely are women that dress slutty for themselves. Gnome Hunter says, but certainly some utilize that attire. Did they? I mean, I've thought about all these issues because I'm a red-pilled male misogynist. But I think women, they dress up, but they don't dress up for all men. Some men they don't give a damn about. So there might be a guy there who they care about, and they want to look good for that guy. For that guy. But lots of, whereas, and women don't like as many men. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it as many times as I have to. They don't like as many men as men like. As men like. Men like women. What do you make of the BBC going against Farage and his school days? We could discuss that later. You know my feeling about the BBC. The BBC is maybe the worst. It's the propaganda of the country. Not of the country, of the state. It's deep state, globalist, team world propaganda that they're forcing you to pay for. I mean, it's one thing if it was The Guardian and the Guardian is collecting money on its own, which it isn't. It's getting money from the deep state. It got money from the deep state, so that's one thing. But it's another thing when they claim to be objective and fair and all that other stuff. I don't think the internet, says MJ Tiger Fang says, I don't think the internet has changed how men and women behave or perceive. And not so much older gens, but maybe those in their 30s, because they grew up with the net instead of domestic socializing. So you're blaming the internet for this. Okay, that's what MJ Tiger Fang says. Showing more than you need to. I don't mean it in a particularly offensive way. Carrie B. Slutty. Well, slutty is a negative way. I shouldn't have even read that word. Here's something for you, Gnome. I haven't done a survey, but I suggest more than 50% of women don't think they are as attractive as you might think they are. I would say all women don't think that they're attractive. Except the ones who are really ugly. Some of the ones who are really... Any woman who puts on makeup thinks that they're, it's like if you go to a woman and you say, you're really beautiful. They don't... And, unless you are amazing, they don't believe it. I think that's what it is. And maybe that's not the right thing. I also like to know what people think. Okay, let me get back on track. I once emceed... Okay. That might depend on the country and country to country, so it might be less. Okay. Make sure you put what this is all about. I'd also like to know what people. I don't. We could talk about all that stuff later. We're in the midst of a discussion, Daz. We're in the midst of a discussion. Okay. Anyway, so I think controversial opinion. We're not changing. We're in the midst of something right now. Let's just finish this thing here. Do women dress for themselves? What? Basically, what I was talking about was, why was this woman mad at me? Why did she go and turn me in? But she did. That's what she did. She turned me in. There are some podcasts you should watch, Judel. Where women rate themselves, and they have way higher than men would put them at. Yeah. But do they actually believe that? Do they actually believe that? That is the big question. I know what you mean. That whatever, Kermit, that whatever podcast. Do women actually believe that? They have to believe that. It's like I remember, when I would go to Crystal English football supporters, they always think their team is going to win. We're going to win. We're going to win. And they don't win because if they say, I think we're not going to win, it means you're not supporting the home team. I think women are very similar to that. Hold on a second. I know the techniques that I use to get girls to like me, or to get them to not like. If I see a pretty girl and I think she's really pretty and I don't know her, I would never go over to her and say, "Wow, you're really pretty," because it would just be. It was like, did you see the video of that girl, the YouTube TikTok thing, where she said some guy came over to her and said, "You're really pretty," and she got really offended by that. What kind of creep comes over to me and says, you're really pretty? What, maybe let me ask that question. Why did the girl think that? Was she really thinking that? Or was that just for a YouTube, TikTok, reel video? Kermit. Judel says, women who have grown up with likes probably have a very different view of themselves than women who didn't have a different. You're talking about the internet thing, how internet changes personality, quite possibly. It's all about confidence and whether you give a. Yeah, but where do you get confidence from? Where do you get confidence? Lewis, do you mean women when you say girl? Yes, of course I do. I'm old school, of course. When I say a girl, it can be anything from 80 years old down to 19. I wouldn't include young women in this. Women, the best thing to say to a girl on a night out is, "Are you in fancy dress?" Avocado. We can't make you can't make jokes like that. You got to be careful. I think. I don't know. It doesn't sound right. Maybe it is right. Men forget how beautiful women get hit on from a very young age. Sometimes, yeah, yeah. When I say girl, yeah. Were you making a joke, Carrie B? Were you making a joke? Back in the day, because I'm old. This is the problem with being old. Back in the day, women were girls and men were boys. You boys, what are you boys up to? We were both boys and girls. I remember my aunt, my beautiful, beautiful aunt. She was much older than my father. She was like about, I would say, she was in the military. She served in the wax, not in the Philippines, in England and in France. And she would go out with the girls. She says, we're meeting with the girls. Everything was the girls. And these girls were between 50 and 90 years old. They were quite old. They were in World War II. And this was in the 1970s and 80s and 90s. Okay. And 1980s. Alan comes in there. I've dated several very attractive women. Not one have dressed up to attract me. They all had their own style going on. Yes, yes, because you were attracted to them because they tried to be attractive to you and not to somebody else. There are lots of girls who dress up to be attractive to other guys. I don't like high heels and lots of lipstick and stuff like that. But lots of guys do. Lots of guys do. Say it to me, Lewis. I would not be offended if you told me I look pretty. Right, because you like me, Claire. Let's just say you like me. So if somebody likes you, if Brad Pitt came over to you and said to you, "You're really pretty," this is the red pill question that we deal with all the time. I don't know whether it's right for us to talk. Hey, we've been going an hour. Can you press the like button? Can you press the like button? Everybody, can we do that? Can we press the like button? Thumbs up, everybody. Can we press? I'm going to press it. And can we press the subscribe if you're new to the channel? Which I don't know if anybody is new to the channel. But press the like button. And thank you. Thank you for that. But Claire, I if I could comfortably say you are beautiful. Not because you are beautiful, but you are beautiful. But I know you wouldn't be offended by it. I hope. I hope. But let's say you're walking down the street and I pull you over and I say you look pretty, and you don't know who I am. You'd go, "What's this old guy just saying? I look pretty." You'd be quite offended by it, not buying it. Cut through the noise. Okay, there we go. Carrie B. I've always dressed for me. I have my own style, and if someone doesn't like me, I really don't care. And then there's the other thing. The other thing that this is very interesting to me, and I could make a lot of enemies this way. That kind of sentence is a sentence that no man would ever say. I've always dressed for me, says Carrie B. I have my own style, and if someone doesn't like me, I really don't care. No man would ever say that. No man. Would you ever say that, producer? No. No man would say that. Men would say, I want girls to like me. I'm going to dress so girls like me. Or they're going to say, I'm too lazy to get dressed. Or this is what they would say, but girls like me this way. Or they would say, I don't, they're not going to like me no matter what I do. They're not going to say that. Carrie B, defend yourself. Defend yourself. Men say that. Men fashion for plumping the lips up. Who wants that? A lot of men, they do like that. A lot of guys do like that. But a lot of girls are doing it, I don't know, for other reasons. Same as I feel, Carrie B. So, Lewis, I dress for myself. I don't dress for myself. I try to look as good as I can. He's too young. to accept his comment. He no, I was talking to the other son, the other son. Cleavage is for men. Let's be honest here. Well, yeah, because it mimics the shape of a buttocks, and men find buttocks attractive, and they find why do breasts look the way they look. I would say thank you, Brad Pitt, but I don't find him attractive. It's a nice compliment. You don't find Brad Pitt attractive. See, you're a woman. You're basically proving my point there. If the equivalent of Brad Pitt came over to a guy, you wouldn't say no. I'm dating. Well, you know what I mean. You would say, "Oh, I can't go out with you." I like Lewis Schaffer. And if who was the equivalent of Brad Pitt as a woman? Cameron Diaz when she was hot. Who's the equivalent? Sweeney, whatever her name is, Sweeney Todd. What's her name? Susan Sweeney. What is the woman's name? Sweeney, whatever her name is. Comes over to me and says, and I would say, and she comes over to me and says, Lewis, you are so good looking. I want to be with you. I would go, you know what? That's a really nice compliment, but I don't find you attractive because I'm in love with my girlfriend, not Julia Roberts. Sydney, what's her name? Sydney. Oh, Sydney Sweeney. That's right. If she came over to me and says, Lewis, let's go out. Do we have any? Don't go get food. If Julia Roberts came up to me back in the day, I wouldn't go, I'm dating Frumpy Frump. Julia, that is so nice of you to be interested in me, but I'm dating Frumpy Frump. I'm in love with Frumpy Frump, so the answer is no. Men are not like that. They're pigs. Men are pigs. That's what we're saying. Men are pigs. Some women think a certain stereotype is attractive to men, and it's not usually the case, Darklands. Yeah, to some men it could be attractive, but sometimes you see a woman and you think, oh, she'd be so much prettier without the makeup. She'd be so much prettier without the makeup, or she'd be so much prettier without her hair being done, or so much prettier without. And she's done the testing. She likes to look this way. She feels pretty this way, and you don't know. Maybe she's doing the best she can do. Carrie B says men are easily laid. Yes, they are. Like, what did I say before? I said something really interesting, that men have less opportunities, but more desire. So if Carrie B comes up to me and says, I love you, Lewis. I love you, Lewis. I want to do you. I mean, it's hard for a man to say no. Basically, we get so little opportunity. Even someone as amazing as Lewis Schaffer. It's like what's her name did? Bonnie Blue. She puts an ad and she says, I'm looking for 1,000 men to have sex with me. 1,000 men. And 1,000 men turn up. More than 1,000. Let's say I put an ad and I'm looking for a girl. Nothing. I'm online. Nothing. I'm on Tinder or wherever you find girls. I mean, that's why it's so funny when Claire is saying, oh, I love you, Lewis. It's like, this is the way women are. And then after a while, they convince themselves that you're really beautiful. I once heard that women actually evolve nice boobs to look a bit like the bums in the reason they have sex. And that's the reason we have sex facing each other. Yes, John Miller. I said that before. Didn't I say that before? So that's what I said. It's because do you ever see the Benny Hill sketch where they show the woman, they show them the bra on the woman's butt, and it looks like, a woman. It looks like a woman. It wasn't on it. It was on a statue or something. Maybe I could find that. Is that too gross for me to find? So Joodles comes in, and let's listen to what Joodles says, because Lewis Schaffer listens to Joodles, because I'm afraid of her, and she's beautiful, and she's young and pretty. Okay, but that's spray and pray in sales parlance. Yes, it is, Gnome. I mean, yes, it is, Joodles. That's what men are, with spray and pray. It's the man's idea of what they think women will find attractive. Is like, don't focus on one woman, focus on them all. And maybe some of them will say yes. And you don't think that that works? To a degree, it works. How can you know? We all have different tastes, no matter what the media says. Is that what you know? What we're talking about? What I was saying. Women like makeup, not men. So who is it for? Other women? No, no. It can be for. It could. It's. I mean, women are competitive because the women are. I have been in this situation where they like a guy who another girl likes. I had this girl. She said she was like in love with me, and then she got to know me, and she got really bored with me. She got bored with me, and she got bored with me. She didn't like me anymore. And then I started to see another young woman, and she's back in the picture. How many guys have had that happen to them? It's like somebody is interested in me. Men. This is what Claire says. Men says, I don't really find Brad Pitt attractive, but I do find Al Pacino hot and Ray Liotta and Leonard Cohen, men like that. It's the face first, then the voice, then the rest. See, women are like really picky. Sydney Sweeney, yes. Lewis Schaffer, yes. Even though I don't really find her that attractive, but I mean, I don't consider her, but anyway, lipstick was to mimic another part of the body, Kermit. Yes, he's right about that. He's right about that. Are they doing it for men? It's a very I know what you were saying. Sidney Greenstreet was attractive. Alfie Cap. Sidney Greenstreet was in Casablanca and the Maltese Falcon. I don't know if Maltese Phil is here. Maltese Falcon, yeah, but he's this ugly old guy. I mean, he's probably way younger than I was, but he looked really horrible. Okay. Maltese Phil says to Claire, "You like gangsters." Is Leonard Cohen a gangster? I'm not so sure. Al Pacino? Okay. I figured out what women want 25 years ago and decided it wasn't for me. I'm a happy hermit. Yeah, are you MGTOW? Are you MGTOW? I'm semi MGTOW. You know what I mean? I'm semi MGTOW. Um, Women are great. Women are great. They are really great, but they're also horrible. I shouldn't say that. I do love you to bits, you know. You're speaking to Gnome. She's telling Gnome that she loves Gnome. You're a sweetheart. You're super intelligent. You'll find your sapio. That's like somebody who's really smart. That Gnome has got. Gnome is only 19 years old. You know, I mean, if I were 19, who'd be interested in me if I was 19? I mean, people are interested in me now because I look like I've got a little bit of money. I'm an internationally famous comedy celebrity as seen on TV and film, and recently a presenter on GB News until he was fired for calling a guy fat and being unpredictable, and maybe who knows what other accusations. I don't even know. Who knows? Maybe I didn't smile enough at the people. Who knows why I was. Anyway, MG Tiger Fang. I never spray tan or go to perfumery. My uncle brother-in-law did that. Everyone round the drinking tables, eyes were watering because he put too much perfume. Yeah, but the women like that. The women like perfume. I don't know. Are you saying you're doing that to impress the other men, the perfume? I mean, I'm against it. I don't put any perfume. I'm the opposite of perfume. I don't bathe anymore. I don't bathe. I don't brush my teeth. I don't use shampoo. I don't use soap. I mean, I use soap on my hands, but even that's unnecessary. Even if you got poo. No, it's necessary for that. Anyway, we don't have many falcons, but bird hunting is popular. Are you talking about Malta? A man once asked me, how do I like my eggs in the morning? That's Carrie B. That's an old joke. Yeah. I mean, that's what's happened to women. Is that attractive to men? What's the right answer? What do men want to hear? I don't know. What do men want to hear? Do they want to hear? I don't want to have any kids. I don't know. I wear eau de toilette, says Maltese Phil, but I like the smell. Well, it reminds you that maybe a woman is hanging around near you. Is that the Phil? Is that the smell, Maltese Phil? I was in a petrol station the other day, says Jules. Bragger, you. Behind a car sales child. A car sales child. What did you, is that? I don't know what that means. Behind a car sales child, period. I nearly threw up the amount of aftershave he was lathering himself in. I was heaving. Yeah, I mean, it's personal. There's some women who like the way, if you like your husband and the way he smells, then you'll like him putting perfume on because it reminds you that he's there, you know? I mean, I don't particularly I like perfume more now than, but I don't like perfume. I don't know. Do I like it? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Thank you, Ron Smith. We could talk about that another time. Okay, no perfume for me. It's stuff like Lynx instead of laugh out loud. Instead of laugh out loud. Only if out drinking. You like Lynx. And you're laughing because it's like, how could you have you? It's like old school. I assume this is a very young car salesman. Oh, okay. You left out the man. Car sales child. Car sales child. Oh, I see what you mean by that. I mean, I haven't. Is that? I'm not gonna say you. It was a car salesman. Yeah. Well, I remember reading about because I used to be a salesman, tried to be a salesman, and what Zig Ziglar said about wearing perfume or women being underdressed while they're selling or men wearing too much, jewelry or whatever. Anybody. He says you can only sell one thing at a time. You're either selling the car or you're selling the guy. You're selling your sex. Now we're talking about perfume. Oh my God, this has been one incredible show. One incredible show. I didn't know. So, Judels, did you say what it was? I missed what you said. Behind a car, is that an English term? A car sales child? Is it an English term? You can only put one's. Yes, yeah. You can only sell one thing at a time. You're trying to sell a car. Person doesn't care that the car salesman is really great looking. But if the car salesman is really ugly, but you've been told he's honest, he knows about cars, he's getting you the lowest price. That's important, you know. I spray myself with aftershave, even if I'm staying home and gaming, but I like my headphones to smell nice. Gaming is not old. I used Old Spice when I was at uni. That's like old school. That's so old school. And I saved it. I've got it in a jar. I still have the jar here, and I'll smell it, and it'll bring me back to when I was at uni, to those horrible days. Oh, those horrible, horrible days. So that is the point that I'm making. The girl got upset at me. The stationery, the thing fell down. The prop fell down. That it's all these people, the way that they were applauding was amazing. That was memorable. They asked me to do something, then they changed their mind. This is the film. And that I got yelled at for sitting on somebody's microphone that was been left out in a totally dark studio behind the scenes. Why do you need to know what I studied? I studied human sexual dynamics, and I have a PhD in gender studies. Uh, no, that's what I studied at university. I used to love my way my husband smelled. Nowadays, he stinks. Yeah, still married, but separated. Yeah, you can turn on a guy. Yeah, that's what happens. You remember the movie in in Citizen Kane, where she's reading the newspaper of his newspaper, and she's so involved with his newspaper, and slowly it changes to where she's reading the competition's newspaper. They get tired of you. The things they fall in love with you in the beginning, they hate you at the end, and men too. But men too, we do here. Oops, you sat on my boom mic. That's funny. A boom mic is the long pole. I mean, it was in the middle of the. No, it was not. The mic was this big. It was not. It wasn't the bike. It was this. The mic was this big. But that's really funny, Herman. Your ear looks like it is healed. What do you mean? Because I was. How is it healed? Where is it healed? And look what I've got here. It's got like it isn't totally drooping, but old guys, their skin it just is like drooping. I was so young. Rosebud, exactly. That's the movie that was in. How is it healed? How is my ear healed? What do you mean by healed? I forgot what you're talking about. I had an ear problem, and that's done. That's gone. That's gone. My son, the producer, has a cold, and I tell him how to cure his cold. No one knows about this. No one believes in anything that I say. You don't believe in anything that I say. Nobody believes anything anymore. Nobody believes anything. Your ear looks like, okay. You just gave us a massive close up. Oh, like that, so you can see it. Well, I want you to know what I look like, so when you see me, you don't go, "Oh, you're horrible." I used to. I've been eating so badly. Can you see? I don't know whether you can. Can you see? Let me just see. Can you see like this? They're not even spots. I don't even know what these things are over here. I don't know what these things are. So, I don't even know what those things are. It's an interesting question. Don't cough. I believe that. I don't believe in. I think coughing causes irritation, which causes inflammation, which is what causes illness and disease. Leprosy. Leprosy is not even a disease. It's people who have an improper diet, is what leprosy is. If you have a proper diet of a meat diet. Now, yesterday, I ate I don't even want to discuss it. I ate 2 pieces of cheesecake, and I think it was like vegan cheesecake. So it was like horrible. Horrible. Alfie Cap, I use eau de colon. Yeah, to make it smell good. Cough and drop. What does that mean? Is that like, are you agreeing with me, Carrie B? Are you agreeing with me? Joodles likes Alfie's joke. I bet that smells ripe, says Alfie. Yeah, here is the thing. So I had 2 pieces yesterday. I had a wrap, 2 pieces of cheesecake. I had 3 slices of pizza, and I had baked potato. Not baked potato, but mashed potato. Like like a cup and like a big thing of mashed potato. And I thought to myself, if I keep this thing up, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. So King Bald died of carb heavy diet. Um, what did they say? He died of leprosy. Who is King Baldwin the fourth? I'll look for that. Who is King Baldwin the fourth? As you know, I can read Roman numerals. King Baldwin the fourth of Jerusalem. Have you heard of that guy? King Baldwin the 1-4. I never even heard of this guy. IV, leprosy, face. Oh yes, he had leprosy. Oh, so he's the famous leper. 1185. He had leprosy. Maybe I don't know. He had leprosy. Potato. I'm looking here. I shouldn't be looking. I'm just typing into the void. Let me. I didn't find it there. I did not find it there. Okay. Who is so? Let's get back to to John Baldwin. I love. Yeah, John Bishop. He knows who I am. Why? I don't even know. I met him once. He said hello, Lewis. It was like weird. It was weird. That the professional comedians, they know all the other comics. It's like how all the rock bands know each other, even if they haven't worked with each other. He was a leper king, so yeah, that's the leading theory. The great crusader, one of the only men to take Saladin in battle. Take on Saladin in battle. Yeah, the answer is, what is the answer? The answer is, who knows what his situation is. People get sick, they get leprosy. People get sick, they get syphilis. People get sick, they get rabies. People are unhealthy. What made him unhealthy? What made him? Is Vatnai here? I missed a thing. Having joined the stream in 1735, I was quite confused for 15 minutes. I went back and listened to the beginning, speed it up. I think I've got it. Lewis, speed it up is insane. Thank you, Vatnai. I think I'm insane even if I'm not sped up. They just disagree with me. I'm trying to avoid arguments, but I can't help myself. And I'm trying to avoid you people saying horrible things. Let me say the horrible things. Yeah, it's like what's his name had the sickly Henry VIII. He was disgusting and sickly from eating sugar. All those people had diabetes. They had type 2 diabetes. We could Google that. I don't know whether you're talking about that, but I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about that. Henry VIII, diabetes. Was Henry VIII, did he have diabetes? It is highly likely that Henry VIII had type 2 diabetes. Many of his symptoms align with that. Yeah, I've said that for years. Now it's made the new. AI is smarter than the individuals who are historians and medical experts suggest his inactivity after jousting significant weight gain and a decline in health, making us susceptible to other such as high blood pressure, circulation problems, and gangrene. There you go. Hold on. Are you reading it here, people? Can you read it up there? Can you read this thing? He had diabetes. And maybe this other guy, Baldwin, Alec Baldwin IV, had diabetes. It feels like I've been here since 1735. 166 or 166 shows. I say 167, but it might be 166 shows that we've done. We've done so many shows. So many shows. They didn't have sugar and then went sailing from someplace and brought back sugar, I think. Many medieval people had scurvy before that. Even pirates in the 18th century from unhealthy diets, MJ Tiger Fang. Well, that is true. Well, where does scurvy come from? Considering I was on an all-meat diet for a while, you never hear of anybody get any of the carnivores, and now there are millions of people like me. Even though I don't, I wasn't eating fruit. I've gone through periods where I haven't eaten much fruit. Scurvy is what people get when they don't have fresh fruit. Not fresh fruit. Sorry. Scurvy is what people get when they eat a high carb diet. Because when you're on a high carb diet, the carbs, they conflict with the vitamin C receptors. And so you need extra vitamin C. You don't need, if you're eating meat and eggs and cheese and butter, you do not need any vitamin C added to your diet. I believe that. I don't know whether you're going to believe that from me. Do you believe that? You do not need any vitamin C. I know there's somebody here who's going to say, I've heard that too, Lewis, or I knew that beforehand. While there is no definitive proof, turns into absolute. Did I say that? I don't think I did. You're always hearing me wrong, Joodles. You're always hearing me wrong. So you think you do. I'm going to say it again. You hear me wrong. I'm saying, uh, I don't even know what I said there. I don't even know. Bring on the eggs and cheese at halftime now. Yes, eggs and cheese. Well, all those chips are that they cause scurvy. All those because all the British sailors, all the sailors, they were fed with what's called hardtack. Does anybody know what hardtack is? It's biscuits. They're basically like Cars biscuits. They have very low moisture, so they don't rot in the hold of a ship. And so they had no life to them. They were just carbs, cooked carbs. Americans call the English limeys because they had limes on board to protect from scurvy. That is true. We know Americans know that. Every Americans know that why it's called limeys. But it had nothing to do with the vitamin C in lemons. It could have been anything fresh. It could have been fresh meat. It could have been fresh salads. It could have been fresh anything fresh. Anything fresh. I am not a papist, Noam says. I swear I'm the opposite, but not the northern opposite, if that makes sense. We're not going to discuss Catholics and Protestants. He had that, and I think syphilis and the rest. Well, I don't know. We're talking about Baldwin the Fourth, King Baldwin. I never heard of this guy, but what's his name had all of the diseases. Like when I started my carnivore diet, as you know, I'm not going to repeat myself over and over again, but I had all the diseases. I had arthritis. I had gout, which is a form of arthritis. I had sleep apnea. I had high blood pressure. I still do, but I had high blood pressure. I had bleeding gums. I had all the diseases known to man. No, while you're on Google, Lewis, wasn't there a king who exploded during their own funeral procession? Yes, there was. We can discuss that later. I think there was. It was like maybe he was left outside in the heat. He was heat. And the meat used to rot too, I think, because of the lack of salt to preserve it. I'm not sure about that. Well, the meat did eventually rot, but a lot of meat was cured, which is why people eat cured meat. What is the question Daz is asking? Daz, let's see what Daz is asking. Do you believe in Lyme disease, Lewis? I don't know. I have not studied Lyme disease, but I would say Lyme disease. If I were basically based on the preponderance of the evidence that I know, okay, let's look up Lyme disease. Okay. Is Lyme disease a myth? Let's see what it says. Okay, we're not going to listen to those people. We're not going to listen to those people. Let's go look more. Carnivore diet. Does carnivore diet is not a myth. Well, people have recommended carnivore diet as a cure for it. So, do I think it is a myth? Is it? No. It's different. It works. One might not work for another. Reduce processed food, carbs, and dairy. May help you lose a few pounds. May be helpful. Okay, I'm giving you the answer. I'm sorry. You ready for my answer based on just reading that? Yeah, I've got confirmation bias. I believe this. I do not believe in germs. I believe you can be bitten by a bug and it's got irritants in it, and that bug can cause. I mean, I was completely allergic to every kind of insect back in the day. And I'm not that allergic right now. Okay, maybe that's not proof, but I think Lyme disease, I think it's probably a misdiagnosis. It's kind of similar to syphilis, rabies, all those other, diseases that they say, oh, you got a little bit of a virus in there thing. This has been a great show. This has been one of our best shows ever. I think you have to say that, everybody. It's been one of our best shows. We're gonna say a prayer before I go. Who do we say a prayer to? Anybody have any ideas? Can we all like the stream? We have over 30 people watching, which is quite good for a Wednesday. Thank you for all coming back. I want to apologize. I want to apologize. 24th, 25th, 26th November, 2025. Think of, we've got 24 people liking the stream, so that's great. Let's see if we can get up to 30. Let's do that. And let's say a prayer. Henry VIII bones or body exploded apparently. Sugar actually explosive in too severe quantities under certain circumstances. They used it in rockets. It had to stop using it. I didn't hear that it's explosive, but it could be explosive, sure. Yeah, so this is what you're saying. You're Joodles. I want you as an audience to stop listening to her. She's divisive against your host. And you have to agree with your host in order to be here. I'm on live chat. I'm not on top. Have I missed anybody, Kermit? Henry VIII had gout. Yes, he had gout because he was sitting there eating cakes. Why was gout a rich man's disease? Because they were eating cakes, and then it became like alcohol. Who had alcohol? Rich people did. I'm on the live chat, Kermit. That wasn't funny, Joodles. And I think the people can sense that there's some tension between Joodles and me. She doesn't like that I'm right because I'm a man. She hates men. She's a female, whatever that means. So let's think of what should we pray for? I prayed the last time. Remember, we prayed the last time that men and women could learn to get on, Joodles. This is a prayer for you. Could get onto each other, to not think that men are trying to hurt women, that men have such a bad view of women. Yeah, you have to silence if they're wrong, Gnome. If they're wrong, Joodles has to be silenced. She has to be silenced. When you're going to Google, if you don't get the answer you're looking for, Google carnivore. See what the carnivore people say. See what the meat eaters say. I had all the different diseases. I had full body psoriasis. You wouldn't want to touch it. I had erectile dysfunction. I couldn't get it down. It was stuck in the rock hard position. It was stuck up there. I had my gums were bleeding. I had retinopathy. I had psoriasis. I had dandruff. Those are all diseases of diabetes. I had high blood pressure. I had high blood sugar level. All diseases of diabetes. If you want to save your life, stop eating sugar. Okay, we're going to say a prayer. That's what the Young Turks thought, and we know how that went. What did the Young Turks think? That people needed to be... I don't pray, but I'm going to ask Grok what he thinks about the budget shortly. So, can everyone pray for me? Yeah. We didn't discuss the budget at all. No one mentioned the budget. You're the first person, Alan Williams. So maybe we'll mention the budget tomorrow. How about that? Lyme disease doesn't exist because I used to be a complete effing mess. No, but I'm saying most diseases, especially skin diseases, are caused by bad diet. Most diseases, including heart disease, including dementia, including gout and plantar fasciitis, including swollen, are all caused by bad diet. And that bad diet, what makes a bad diet is eating emergency food. And carbs, Joodles, are emergency food. Were you stuffing your face with Viagra thinking they were blue Smarties? No, I never thought they were that, but that I'm not even going to say whether I'm not. I'm going to deny thinking that I ever did that. But back in the day, a man had to do what he had to do because no, I made that was a joke. It wasn't working. It wasn't working. It's more surprising he's turning against a female, really. Okay. Lewis is usually all for women. Do you think I am? Yeah, tell Judel that. I'm very supportive of women, even though I think that they're horrible. I've been married once. I had another relationship twice. You know, do I love women? No, of course I don't love women. Women are horrible. But you can still find them attractive and want to be with them, but I still, you know, you still they're you still need them and want them. Gnome's taking the piss, Lewis. Oh, okay. Well, he should have maybe made a joke image that he was taking the piss. I didn't know that he was taking the piss. I didn't know that he was taking the piss. All right. So what are we praying for? More. And let me just thank everybody for being here. Joe and Judels, thank you for coming in. He hates women. They are horrible. Yes, I do. That women are horrible. I do hate them. I do hate them. I do hate them. It's more surprise. Yes. Thank you, Gnome, for being here. Kermit. Very funny, Kermit. Tiger Fang. We'll pray for the future. Well, let's pray for the future. Yes. Alex and Alan Williams and Judels. John Miller was here. Thank you, John. It's always good to see John. We'll talk about this tomorrow. We'll talk about the things you wanted to talk about tomorrow. We can't be all over the place, even though they said that that's my charm. MC Scott was here. Great. Thank you, Vatnai. So good to see you, but you didn't speak that much. But next time, I love having you. Let's see. Alfie, Cap, very funny. Oh, DeColo. Carrie B. I'm going to do you, Carrie B, if you're interested. But I mean that, it's up to you. It's completely up to you. John Miller talking about leprosy. I remember that. Maltese Phil. Claire. God bless you, Claire. I guess you're not here right now. But thank you very much. You made me feel bad about my eating what I ate before. Okay? Alan Williams, Darklands. Great show. Kate Quinn. I didn't even see Kate Quinn. I missed it. Maybe because of the live thing. I'm sorry, Kate Quinn, because I missed seeing you there. Why do you think you're not as attractive as Bonnie, Lewis? Is there any guy who is good looking? Say who wants? I'm gonna try to have sex with 1,000 women. Could a man get 1,000 women just to turn up and not be famous? He's not famous. Bonnie Blue was not famous at that time. Let's see. But Carrie B, good to see you. Really good to see you. And I think this was good for a good argument. Good argument. So that's out. So that's been. So we're gonna say a prayer. What avocado man? He left. You got to be nice to the ladies. You got to be nice. Calvin Perrins. I am here, Calvin. I am here. I missed because most of the people are top people because you're all participating. Consent, yeah. What are you saying to okay, hold on. Okay, Kermit says I watched it later after he doxed that nice lady who emailed him. Who are you talking about, Kermit? Who are you talking? Russell Brand? What about Russell Brand? Okay, so I'm going to say a prayer and then we're going to say goodbye. Okay, are you ready for a goodbye, everybody? Are you ready for a goodbye and a prayer? So, dear Lord, dear Lord, dear Lord, the provider of life to the universe, the carer of us, the, the greatness that gave us life on this earth, that gave us this earth, that gave us the planets in the sky and the sun to give us sun. Thank you. Thank you for all these things. Okay. Mostly we're British and we care about what's going on with the government. Today the budget was released and we don't understand it fully yet. And we're worried and we're scared. We're scared for our country. Dear Lord, please, please help us to figure out what's going on with the budget. Please help us. Please help Rachel Reeves give us the best budget for this country. Please help the Labor Party to give us the best for this country. We care about the world, but first we have to care about ourselves. And we care about Britain. We care about the countries in Britain and the peoples who are British, who live in this country. The Scots, the Angles, the Saxons, the Jutes, the Celts, the Normans, the Picts, the Irish, the Northern Irish, the Southern Irish. Thank you, Kate. I'm not done yet. Okay. But we care. And we look to you, dear Lord. Amen. And yes, there will be a late stream. I think there'll be a late stream at 10:30. I'll see you at 10:30 tonight for our late stream. I want to thank everybody for coming. We've had a lot. This has been I'm always afraid. Can you like the stream if you haven't liked it? I think it's important. It's important to me. It's important to you. It's important to you. Let me just look at the analytics. We've had a lot of views. We've had as many as 34 views. Basically, we've had 30 views. So thank you very, very much, everybody. Okay, thank you very, very much. Okay, can we just make sure? Thank you. Thank you, Kermit, for speaking in Welsh. I think that's Welsh. Can you like the stream? Can you press subscribe if you haven't already? If you're just popping in, it's important. Can you maybe buy Lewis Schaffer a cup of coffee at KO-F-I, a cup of coffee. Or Patreon/Lewis Schaffer or PayPal.me/Lewis Schaffer. Please. I would appreciate it. I appreciate it. Anything else you want to say? I'm going to keep the stream going for a little bit. And then you could, if I've forgotten to mention you a name, say, hey, what about me? What am I, chopped liver? Kate Gwynn, I thanked you, but thank you very much for coming in. And we'll see you at 10:30.